Lamar Odom, Kyle. I don't know if he's, did he die? DarbyCast, Monday Sports. And although this is Monday Sports, this is also episode 50. Whoa. Right, Kyle? That's a big whoa out of you too. And so this one's going to be different. This one is going to be special, and we're going to take an attitude of gratitude. Why the heck not? Why not, Kyle? And why not, DarbyCast doctors? Welcome. If this is somehow one of your first episodes and you're scratching your head and you're wondering, the hell have I been doing listening to this? You just want to stick around and just kind of enjoy what's going on here. 50 episodes in. And I think if we're taking a circumspect view of the sport that is ripping into DarbyCast, I'd say after 50, you're kind of making your way towards going pro, right? 50 episodes in the sport of podcasting, the biggest muscles won't always get you there, but this is a marathon and not a sprint. But boy, in the beginning, did I treat it like a sprint. All hype every episode, super high energy, so much caffeine. So much caffeine. That's not to say I don't sip on a little, that's espresso for those of you who know, but for those of you who don't, go get yourself maybe a latte with a couple shots of, you understand? 50 episodes, going pro. Why the heck not? But let's, Kyle, pull it up on the screen. We're going to read some reviews coming from the DarbyCast doctors. Great people. If you want to really be popular, if you want to be somebody that is admired by your peers in a big way, you're probably going to want to leave a review. And I hate being that guy. Says like, like, subscribe. Hey, give it a share. But truth be told, for those of you who know, like, it just kind of goes with the turf, because as we grow the audience, good things happen. What are those good things? Giveaways of things like Ferraris or Frisbees or something in between that value, right? Boy, would I love to do a Frisbee giveaway or a Ferrari giveaway or a swamp boat. Yeah, a swamp boat, one of those fans on the back. You just go over this swamp, right? That's great. But let's read some reviews. Kyle, you put there they are, up on the screen. This one comes out of Rye Guy 1Fit23. Review is titled, Insightful and Witty. Wow, that's a strong start. The host, Maverick Alexander, is extremely smart and sharply analytical in his views of everyday life, from sports to politics, while delivering his opinions with a unique humor. There are definitely some gems of quotable words he delivers on his take of a wide range of subjects important to everyone. You catch that? Universal appeal. I think there's probably some people that would listen to the DarbyCast and they'd be like, that was so wrong. And it's like, get out. Just get out. If you're in your car and it's moving, maybe slow down to like 15, but then bail. Get out with that attitude. Joe Lou 2. Can't Stop, Won't Stop is the title of this review. You don't have to agree with Mav on everything, but you might. What really matters is that you won't know where you fall unless you take the leap. Trust fall. That is sports right there. That's a sports comment out of Joe. Trust fall. Do it. Right? That guy's probably got big biceps. I don't care what anybody says. Clever and timely out of Beachy 557799. The guy says things he probably shouldn't, but does a really good job of explaining things in a way that I can totally relate to. That's a big call out. That's huge. That's what I'm trying to do here. Here's another. Unreal by JP Tattoos. This is getting me through the lockdown. So effing good. Effing spelled EFFIN. This guy gets it. Or this girl gets it. You know, if you look into the analytics of DarbyCast, this is going to surprise some of you, as it surprised me. 55% of listeners, female. Who knew that DarbyCast had this kind of incredible appeal to wonderful gals all around the globe? Because yes, DarbyCast is international. Sweden, Canada, Brazil, South Africa. Those are countries that the DarbyCast has listeners in. Not bad, if you ask me. Love this one by SP in the Morning. Review is titled SP in the Morning. And I want to know what SP stands for. I do. Kyle, you think it's slender penis? SP, you think that's for support patriarchy in the morning? Could be. But the review, great fun. Be open-minded and listen. Don't be a phony and laugh. You just got called out by support patriarchy in the morning in a big way. And this, again, gravitates back towards the point. If you are saying you don't like it, A, jump out of your car. B, now you're a phony. You got called out for trying to put on a show and everybody sees through it. You got pissed off because you were listening to DarbyCast and you're like, oh my goodness. But you probably said something way more wicked than that. Probably a foul-mouthed individual. If you don't like DarbyCast, a mind and a mouth full of filth, right? How about chill bro, exclamation point. If you're a fan of the Darby series, you'll love this podcast. If you're a fan of this podcast, you'll love the Darby series. The dark, satirical humor is laugh out loud funny. Dark? Maybe. Satirical? Definitely. Not always dark, but occasionally I overcook it. You know what I mean? Char it up a little bit. And there's no problems there because sometimes you just got to swing for the fences, right? A-Bad. Review is titled, hands down 5 stars. Good humor and good insight. These episodes never disappoint. That's somebody who wakes up in the morning and they're immediately doing a set of 100 push-ups and drinking 2 glasses of water. Very healthy individual would say something like that. That's it. Here we've got one, Insta subscribe by R. Tulch. Who goes off the cuff better than this guy? Move over, Mark Cuban. There's a new Mav in town, and it's a one-man team. Cuban just got called out. By the way, you heard it here first. I'm going to give you a prediction. 2024 and no later than 2028, Mark Cuban will run for president. That's just a fun fact. And some of you, upon hearing that, you just cracked a smile to yourself and lovingly rubbed your own thigh. And you were like, there's some pretty key future predictions that come true on the DarbyCast. I wonder if Maverick and or Kyle are clairvoyant, whether these guys have ESP, that's extrasensory perception. And ESP is no joke, by the way. It probably exists. It probably does. Out there in this world of ours, there's probably some chick who's an introvert who wears glasses and an oversized backpack, and she can move plates with her mind. That's ESP for you. That's a big deal. How about T Farsha? Farcha? Don't be a Todd. Get control of your fifis and strap in for this stream of consciousness journey through the mind of Maverick Alexander. Just ripping and riffing and global politicking. I like that. I don't mind that at all. It's not inaccurate. Here we have one. The definition of no filter. Warning, real talk, all caps, by Chris Rags. Good dude. Big heart. Probably a huge package. This one's by Darbyshire Fan, and that is a hell of an Apple Podcast handle. Funny! Exclamation point. My new favorite podcast is the title of the review. This guy has talent. He has an incredible voice. The subject matter is thought-provoking, and he is insanely funny. I can't wait for more podcasts. Now, I'm going to challenge you on that. I don't like the sound of my voice. When Kyle and I are chopping up the episodes, cleaning them up, optimizing the sound, I say, do I sound like that? And he says, well, you do. And I say, Kyle, you're an honest guy, and the audio don't lie. Here we have one entitled Wet 100 by Get Annie, or Get Ann Nee. Don't know how they like to break up that handle. Fresh, funny, unleashed. Been waiting for this for a long time, and it's finally here. Can't wait for more. Waking up with a sense of zeal and anticipation. Lust for truth. So much lust. Lusty and busty. That's probably who this gal is. Lusty and busty. And somebody who's trusty as well. You understand? Do you get that? You've known that already. You felt that in your core. You felt that in your tummy. And you're like, oh, lusty, trusty, busty. You probably just know somebody like that. You know a gal and you're like, oh, that's a LTB. That's a lusty, trusty, busty. But maybe sometimes you go further and you're like, that's an LTB, HTF. That's a let the bodies hit the floor. You know what I mean? Yeah, you do. The first review ever given on this show comes from none other than, and I know this dude. His name's Forrest. He's kind of a big deal. He's an Animal Planet guy. He's Discovery Channel guy. He's got shows on sharks and other animals. The handle is Forry1988 star. And I'm going to have to give him a little bit of coaching on how to make like a handle and a screen name. But yeah, it's Forrest. He said, this is just a good laugh all around. Worth a listen and some chuckles. Not inaccurate, Forrest. Not inaccurate. I want to give a big shout out to Forrest on hitting episode 20 of the Wild Times podcast. The Broologist with the Broducer and the Brofessor. Right now, those guys are struggling to come up with a name as sexy and accurate as the DarbyCast doctors for their listenership. They'll find it. But three great guys, Pat, Retep, and Forrest. Big shout out to those guys. Really cool. They work out hard. They all have really strong forearms. I don't know what that's about, and that's totally a sports call because that's Monday sports. I think everybody, guy and gal, needs to work on their forearms. I think that's mission critical. So yeah, that's DarbyCast. That's how it's been going. That is how it's been going. It's been going well. 50 episodes in. And I've been tempted this whole time to take a Fight Club style marketing approach and say, first rule about DarbyCast is you're not allowed to talk about DarbyCast, because we all know what happened in Fight Club. You made that the rule, and then everybody talked about it. That went off the rails pretty quick in that movie. They started this disenfranchised, spiritually bankrupt office drone. He said, I need something more. So he started going to support groups for various illnesses and drug addiction. And then he found himself in punching people in the face. Good movie if you haven't seen it. I don't know why you wouldn't have seen it, but that's inspiring. Maybe you start a fight club. Maybe that's how you get through the quarantine. You go up to somebody who looks like an office stiff, kind of a Todd. You just go up to Todd and you're like, Todd, punch me in the face right now. Because that's how you start it. You don't say, hey, Todd, can I sock you in the face? And then the guy's like, my name's not Todd. And then you kind of have to strong arm him into it and be like, yeah, maybe you change your name because you seem like a pussy. And you heckle him until they punch you in the face. And you say, all right, Todd, let's go listen to a podcast together. It's called DarbyCast. You're going to want to listen to episode 2. It's called Todd. You're going to feel pretty bad about yourself for a minute, but that doesn't mean you can't change. Todd. Yeah. Episode guide. I feel like I haven't gone back in a while and looked at the episodes. Welcome to Darbyshire, otherwise known as Darbyshire. Todd, Chuck E. Cheese and Elon Musk, the tragedy of ESPN. Boris Unstoppable, the economics of Derek. AYSO and the Soviets. It was around episode 10 that I realized I was naming episodes in a way that wouldn't optimize search, but that just really hit the nail on the head. And there's a give and take. Because you want maximum discovery, but also you want to present in a way that you're like, well, episode 11, we have a T-Rex. What the hell does that mean? That's a great episode. Episode 11. What about the Dragon Circus? Episode 15. What about DJ Bolognese? That's one of my favorites. And with the song WAP, WAP, which I feel like used to be a derogatory term for Italians, calling somebody a WAP, but I think that was WOP. But boy, does the episode DJ Bolognese hit the nail on the head of just how terrible and degrading music has become, and the audacity of those who lecture you on being respectful towards chicks, and then they start talking about things that are a little bit too graphic. Certainly for children, but probably also just for adults, everyone. Episode 26, High Heat in the Sauna. Yeah, a lot of people are missing the gym right now. That's sports. It's Sports Monday. You get a little taste of what it used to be like to go to the gym and to see somebody on a spin bike with the seat not in the correct position and they're struggling and you're like, hell yeah, way to try hard. That's nice. What about episode 33, bearskins and bratwursts? Oh yeah, we went on a bender for a couple Wednesdays. German folklore of the 1800s. Very depressing stories that never end in a happy way. And for those of you who are not just listeners of the podcast, but readers of the Darbyshire series, you know that most of the stories really fall off a cliff at the end. It's not like a happy ending. And I can't express enough how much I appreciate any author who has the artistic integrity to say, and then everyone died, the end. That takes guts. Everybody wants a feel-good ending, but that ain't life. Life ain't a movie. What about episode 42, Benjamin Franklin? Go into a really strong analysis of the movie National Treasure. Great movie. Lot of hidden messages there. In fact, I should probably ask Illuminati Mike about National Treasure. And I'm pretty embarrassed that that hasn't been top of mind and just come across early. Been like, time out, Michael. National Treasure. Explain what it means. There is a secret episode, by the way. A secret episode. It hasn't been released. It's actually episode 99. And I might chalk it up as episode 100. That might make more sense. We're halfway there. everybody, you all, to episode 100. What's the name of that one? Turtles, Rabbits, Wolves, and Guns. That is one of the most inappropriate and heavy-hitting episodes of all time. And that's something to look forward to. Because I know people tune in and they're like, I think this one is going to be a sledgehammer to the concrete wall that is political correctness. And that's not wrong, because that's pretty much every episode, is just saying things that people think but are terrified to say in today's day and age. Cancel culture. Boo, right? Right, Kyle? That's what I'm saying. How about the Illuminati Mike series? How about the Illuminati Mike series? How about Z Money? How about Matty J? Talk about rock solid guests. And the guest list might balloon to a larger list, but talk about those core 3 bros. I've got to get some gals on here. I've got to interview some gals in a big way and say, what the hell is it like being a female in 2020? What's it like being beaten over the head with political correctness, but then also extreme smut, convincing, trying, because obviously DarbyCast doctors, the lady doctors, they don't give in. They see Cardi B and they're like, it's nice that I have an example of everything to never be ever. It's nice to know that it's okay to look at Cardi B and say, you can't read, and you degrade yourself and women everywhere by putting out your quote unquote art. I was hanging out with a friend of mine the other day. Couple of us, we were at the beach, couple guys, couple gals, and unprompted out of nowhere, one of my lady friends, she says, Cardi B's such a fucking whore. And I was like, whoa, you're not wrong. You remember that, Kyle? And we didn't even really need to go into the conversation after that. Everybody looked around. There was about 8 of us there. And we were like, way to call it out. Way to call it out. But yeah, there's a lot of great episodes. Episode 50. I'm proud of the DarbyCast doctors. I'm proud of you. Why wouldn't I be? Why the heck wouldn't I be? Kyle, I'm proud of you. Let's just take a quick little moment to recognize just how fucking solid you are as a producer of this show. Let's give a shout out to the wonderful gal that is the editor of not just the books, but the gatekeeper of the DarbyCast. I send all of these to this wonderful lady, this wonderful human being. I send her the episodes and I say, is this too much? And there's been a couple times that she's like, you're going to want to just scale that back. It doesn't happen often, but occasionally she'll say, save that. Save that episode for when things get weirder. If things get weirder in this world of ours, and you've got to put your foot down and say, that's not okay, but make people chuckle while you're saying it. You get it. That's what DarbyCast really is some huge punches in every direction. And if any of the DarbyCast doctors, feel free to email the show, info@DarbyshireUSA.com. Info@DarbyshireUSA.com. And if you feel as though things are not on the level, email in and I won't read it. Okay? Email in and it's getting deleted. Kyle reviews the emails that come in. There's great emails that come in. There's a lot of rock solid emails. Questions. I would like to do a mailbag Q&A. Mail call, right? Something like that. I don't want to say it like that. That sounded really awful. But if you've got some questions, which many of you do, send them in and we'll just do like a little bit of analysis. Because I've had questions come in and say, how much can you bench? And I think that's a question that's worth answering when the time's right. I've had a question. How tall are you? How sturdy is your jawline? Where do you come up with your ideas? That was all one email. I respect that gal who sent that in. What's the show going to look like moving forward? That's a question. You'll notice that Europe Tuesdays, one of the best days of the week, Europe Tuesdays, hasn't been around for like a month and a half. Neither is Politics Thursday. I've tried to weave Europe and politics into just about everything. But I was thinking the other day that the show might have to take a new kind of a bend from time to time. Mix up the days of the week. Turn Monday into Folklore Mondays. Wednesdays into Biography Wednesdays. Obviously keep Wildcard Fridays. But I'm just going to float this out there. I'm going to float it out there. Folklore Monday, Biography Wednesday, Wildcard Friday. Sports at some point. Politics at other points. But I will weave themes into folklore and biographies. Many of you want to know more about Jason Statham. Nothing wrong with that. Many of you want to take a deep dive into the life of Aaron Burr. And that curiosity is not misplaced. It's not. I get it. Aaron Burr. Whoa, right? For those of you who are like big Aaron Burr scholars, which is probably about 60% of the listenership of DarbyCast. Tell me what you want from this show. Tell me what you want. Email. Throw in the email. Make a comment on social media, I guess. I hate social media. You know this about me. But I got to do it. Got to put out some graphics and say, new episode, everybody. But Fight Club style, you're not allowed to share this. Fight Club, DarbyCast. First rule about Darby Club is you don't club the Darby. Get wrecked, right? Episode 50. Big shout out to all of you. I'm glad you're along for the journey. Many more amazing podcasts to come. Truly, DarbyCast is just getting started. It's just getting started. 50 episodes in, and that's like, we're not even to the first hurdle yet. If this was a 8,000 meter hurdle race, steeplechase. I don't even know what that is. I've heard of it before, though. Steeple, Spartan race, Tough Mudder, something like that. The biathlon, skiing and using a sniper rifle. That's kind of what this is. If you could parallel DarbyCast to a sport, I would say it most resembles the energy of a biathlon. Cross-country skiing and then utilizing a sniper rifle. If you can come up with a better sports analogy than that the DarbyCast is a biathlon, I'm going to challenge you on that. I'm going to say, you're a dumbass. Because nobody's going to say that. Everybody, you just heard that. You're listening to this. You just heard biathlon. And you're like, oh, shit. Whoa. And that's the correct response to have. It is. It is. But I'm going to wrap this up. DarbyCast, Monday, sports. I guess that's kind of a misnomer because this is DarbyCast episode 50. 50 episodes of nonsense. Big commemoration. Shout out to all of you. Shout out to Kyle. Shout out to my editor. Shout out to Rodrigo, illustrator of the Darby books, who's down in Brazil and he's just trying to figure things out. Good guy. Back Wednesday, DarbyCast. You're great.